Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Twitch doesn't hear you guys though, it will only hear me, so it's fine. You can swear all you want. You can swear all you want. Just don't let me hear my own voice, please. Mute that shit. This is my Twitch channel, so welcome to round one. If you're watching, if you're joining me on my Twitch channel, a little bit of everything went wrong here in round one. Obviously, as you can see, I've missed all of that. I was trying to share links to the Twitch channel, but I retired early on, pretty much exactly the same place where I retired in Q1. So the setup I got from my teammate last minute probably wasn't right for me because I hit the same corner twice. But yeah, I see don't feel that bad right now because I see a whole other bunch of retirements. Gavin out, Judge out, Kimmy out, myself. So not Sebastian. He's not here on the night. So that means no points for not Aston Martin. Your leader for now, SAF1 Vino. He leads on lap 5 of 51. Jean second, not Maverick third. Foster's in fourth. He's the only remaining teammate in that team. I believe RQR. I believe that's the name. RQR. Wes is in fifth. Then probably the strongest showing on the day. Legend, RZDV and Maverick. It's going to be good points for that team. Not a great start to the season for a whole bunch of guys. Well, it means Muna, if you're watching, you didn't start off that badly, did you? You're not missing much. Also, the reason for the Twitch stream is I couldn't get the YouTube to work off the PlayStation. There's a lot of things that look slightly different, and yeah, I just refused to connect to my YouTube. And then basically when I got on this, there was problems here too, because the PlayStation screen share app on Microsoft has also been updated, and it's also got its issues. So don't know who came up with the new developments, but hopefully they'll sort that out. I'm sure this wasn't what they had in mind. Lap 6 of 51, Vino continues to lead the race at the front. 3.5 seconds is the gap. Jean second, Maverick, should I say not Maverick, third. And he's right on the back of Jean, looking to get past. If you're gonna do it, this is where you do it. You do it on the straight, the main straight. It's basically like a freeway. Not much the car behind you can do. If you open up DRS. Evening Matt. Thanks for joining. Tonight was a bit of a disaster. I didn't perform as badly as your countryman. What's his name? The guy that rode for Renault. At least I got past turn 1. He didn't get into turn 1 after making his famous quote. But yeah, everything going a little bit wrong. We've lost 5 runners already in just 7 laps. And that's actually held firm. I think we lost all 5 of those runners by lap 4. So not a great start. We always knew Azerbaijan is going to be a difficult one for round 1. Probably didn't help that I prepared for this race by doing laps of Kyalami. Yes, that's the one. You knew who I was talking about. It could only be the one. He made the famous comment and didn't arrive in turn 1. I believe the comment was something along the likes of, you need to be aware when on a street circuit. And then he found the Armco barrier before he found turn 1. Maverick's setting now after Saf1 Vino. 3.7 seconds is the gap. He's cleared Jean and he's already made quite a gap back to third place. Voss now starting to close the gap to that podium position. Obviously both his teammates have retired from the race. What an absolute shocker for round one. What can I say? Our initial commentary team also failed. Commentary was supposed to be on YouTube. I was supposed to be driving, but lap 1 happened, and I thought, well, why not give round 1 some sort of a stream, some sort of coverage? But Devon was actually Johan and Devon were supposed to commentate. Then Johan informed us already a while back that he wasn't going to be able to be here tonight. So Devon was going to do a solo, but Devon couldn't get the PlayStation working properly. So everyone having their own little issues with that update that came out during the week. Force closing in on that third place gap, getting ever smaller, 1.6 seconds. I was just about to say 1.3, so it did grow just a little. I'll get my feet up for this one. It's going to be a long one, and yeah, my Twitch stream setup is only set up for me to be sitting in the rig, so this is a bit different. Doing a commentary session sitting in the rig. Oh yes, and there's the cameras on, so that's even better. Matt, I think if you want to join me in the comms box, the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we do a Discord voice chat, because I'm not in a party chat right now. I'm just straight into the computer mic over a PlayStation screen share and uploading through the PC. So we'd have to use Discord. I'm not on PlayStation right now. This was a last minute minimal setup. I wasn't expecting to do this. I wasn't even going to stream my point of view. Not for Azerbaijan anyway. It's not really one I'm too keen to share with anyone. No one wants to see me drive around Azerbaijan, so might as well watch everyone else. Jean has, why is it showing me that? Jean has come into the pits. He does have damage on. Does he have damage? Yes, the wing comes off, wing change. So early damage in the race. That promotes RZDV. He's up into fourth. Force is third. And Jean dropping down the field with that pit stop. He's going to emerge where? Currently in 7th. Is another car going to come around the corner? Nope. That'll be 7th place. Ronald currently in 9th. Probably help if I open my Discord. Sorry, I'm not switching through the cars enough. I'm not used to commentating with this. I'm commentating with the steering wheel. I've never commentated with the steering wheel. This is not it's not fun. Vino leads the way, 4.3 seconds is the gap. Voss holding on to third for now. 8.3 seconds adrift off not Maverick. RZDV 2000, he's in 4th. Just under 2 seconds away from that podium position. See a lot of retirements, as we said earlier on, so still a very long way to go, 40 laps to go in this race. So if we get another couple of retirements or so, finishing this race is going to mean some really good points. Obviously there's only 9 runners left in the race, so whoever sets that fastest lap. I didn't even see who got pole. I was actually so annoyed with my qualifying, I wasn't really looking at the screen, and I actually took a screenshot of the thing and I still don't know who was on pole. So let me just go have a look at that. Okay, so it was Vino. Vino was the man on pole. He's leading the race, so that's from pole still leading. Jean actually started 2nd, so he's down in 6th. Foss is 3rd, so he's maintained that position. Ronald started in 4th. He's having a bit of a recovery drive down in 8th. And Wes started 5th. He's still there. Boucher started 7th, still there. There's a lot of the guys that started at the back, really. It was a real mess. Cars just piling up. Basically, I retired, but I could have really retired about 3 or 4 corners before that. So, because I just missed the car in front of me, it was really just by chance. Will we see a gap at the front? Just get some stats on your screen. Five seconds is the gap at the front. Will Maverick be able to close it? Is he looking to close it? Doesn't seem to be using. What we can see is ERS. We can see when he's using it, but we don't know what he's doing with this fuel mix. We don't know what his strategy is. Is he trying to close that gap? Is he just trying to maintain the gap and do something with the pit strategies? If you're looking forward to the MotoGP races this weekend, you might want to have a look at the schedule. I'll have a look at it just now, but apparently the schedule has changed. I think it's got something to do with track conditions, and they're worried about track temperature, so I think they're shifting the race earlier. Still leading, that gap growing. It was 5 seconds, now 5.6, growing ever so slightly. For still 3rd, gap holding at 8 seconds, so not much happening in that top 3. We'll go down to Rob. This is a battle, 3-car battle, and the only battle on circuit, so we'll stay with these guys as long as they keep going at it. RZDV just behind Boucher. Jean just behind the 2 of them. Obviously those 2 in front trip over each other. Car in 3rd can always potentially take two places at once. Just needs to stay close enough to the action that if the mistake comes he can get by, but far away from the action that oh, there we go, up the inside. No problems there, and RZDV, he's up into 4th place, but unfortunately lap 13 he's already 25 seconds adrift from those podium positions, so now he's going to want to get his get his head down, get into some sort of rhythm, start closing that gap. This is a track he favors. Rob, a big fan of the street circuits. We have 3 of them on the calendar this season. See Baku being round 1, that's a bit rough. And then we get a bit of a break from the street circuits, but then they come back with a vengeance at the end of the season. I believe they're round 7 and round 8. Or is it round 8 and round 9? I'm not sure. But either one of those combinations. It's going to be Singapore and a Monaco night race. So 2 street circuits still to come, and that's Rob's sort of circuit. This is Rob's sort of circuit. Maverick has come into the pits. He's changing a wing, so he did have damage. Maybe that's why he wasn't able to close that gap to the leader. Driving around with a damaged car, didn't want to come in and change the wing too early. Maybe trying to stick to that strategy. He'll get back out there. Foss is being promoted up into 2nd place. Foss has not stopped. Vino has not stopped. Boucher in 5th has not stopped. RZDV just 9.3 seconds adrift of Maverick. The top 2 still need to pit. What you can do is then just upload this Twitch video afterwards to YouTube, so there is some record of this race. It's just not gonna look like all the rest of the videos. It's gonna look slightly different unless Johan and Devon decide to put cameras on their beautiful faces for future commentary sessions. Still waiting for your top 2 to come in to the pits. Those 2 cars obviously started on mediums. That whole smattering of cars that just came in, Maverick, RZDV, Jean and Wesley, they were all on softs. They all started the race on softs. So those 2 at the front, they're on a set of mediums since the start of the race. And obviously their strategy is going to be to go a little bit further. No change at the front for now. We watch that gap between 3rd and 2nd. Maverick, Foss, that's 12.7 seconds. I think that's going to come down. Obviously Maverick on a fresh set of mediums. Foss will be on a aging set of mediums. Don't think they're quite old just yet. When they do fall off the cliff, you'll know all about it. From a commentary's perspective, there's not a whole lot to talk about right now. A lot of gaps in the field. 1st and 2nd, 15 seconds. 2nd and 3rd, 11 seconds. 3rd and 4th, 10 seconds. So fastest lap for not Maverick. Obviously, if he can hold on to that, he gets a handful of extra points for his efforts. It's going to be difficult to hold on to that at this early stage. Obviously the cars will get lighter, and Surely we're going to see quicker laps towards the end of the race when these cars become a little bit more agile, and if somebody's got a set of softs on the end with low fuel, that's probably where we're going to get our fastest lap from. Voucher 6th. He is a one-man team, I believe. So no teammates for him. Just a... I guess he likes it uncomplicated. Enjoy the sound of the cars, guys. I'll be right back. welcome back if you're still here, if you're still watching. We're on lap 19 of 51. Still 9 runners in this race, so we had that smattering of retirements at the beginning, and guys have held firm since then. But we know that on this circuit, all you need to do is make a mistake at the castle section and it's over. Surprisingly, that's not where I lost it. I lost it through the corner where Maverick is going now. No. This one here. Lost it in qualifying and retired. Lost it on lap 1 of the race and retired. Same spot, that corner right there. Just not practicing this circuit at all, and it really showed tonight. So gonna have to step up the efforts for next week. You see, Munna will, not Sebastian or Munna, however you know him, he will return for round 2, I believe, hopefully, and hopefully we can have a better run than what we had today. Still 31 laps remaining in the race, long way to go. Not Maverick second, on a fresh set of mediums. Villarreal still leads the race, as he has from the very beginning. He's on a older set of mediums, 19 laps now. Forced the man that was in second, he's dived into the pits and grabbed a new set of mediums. So Vino and Boucher, the two to take those tires that far, 19 laps. The oldest set of mediums on the track. Obviously, everybody has their own livery, or is supposed to. I don't think Vino has applied his Safwan livery. And let's have a look. Where is Ronald? There we go. Ronald has the Safwan livery. Vino Real not. He hasn't customized his car and got all the relevant colors and whatnot, so he needs to do that. His car looks a bit bland in the lead. As I say that, he's coming into the pits. See any wing damage? No wing damage, so he's going to be out pretty quickly. Remember, Maverick went in and had to change his wing. RZDV now up into 3rd place. It's not having a easy day. He's got Force right behind him. Ooh, and Force runs a little bit wide. Can't call it commentator's curse because he's not watching. So it's all good. So Matt, what? I believe you're still here. It says you're still watching. Matt, what are you doing with your Fridays these days? Obviously, reigning TnB champion. Sitting in the comments section on Twitch. Ooh, getting awfully close, but I'll say that every time a car goes through the castle section, getting awfully close. But how are you supposed to go through there without going awfully close? Closest gap, let's have a look. Where is the closest gap? It's Legend and Wesley. 1.5 seconds. We got another one, 1.3 seconds. That's Force still chasing down Rob. Was a lot closer than this just a little earlier. Got any Any predictions here? Is Vino gonna carry on the dominance right until the end, or do the guys here in second and third, can they do something on a strategy here? What? I think there's still more to come. Vino out ahead. He's obviously on a very different strategy from everybody else. He's on a set of softs, so he's going to be on a 2-stop. That set of softs won't take him to the end, so he'll probably come in and put on a second set of softs, and that'll be his strategy. There's a prediction. Vino looks like he's in charge of things. It's really his race to lose. He's got it in his hands. Got a brilliant buffer, 11 seconds. Don't really see any problems, unless the problems come from him. If he makes the mistake himself. Remember, these walls get awfully close. Castle section is just one mistake away. Ask Charles Leclerc in qualifying. Safwan Vino, fastest lap of the race. So pole position, leading the race, and now fastest lap. Obviously a win, fastest lap, and pole position. That is, I'd love to tell you how many points that is, but I'm not sure. Johan's not here, and Johan does the points. But what I think it's, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it's 5 each way for pole and for fastest lap. So what, 10? And then 30 for the win. So 40 points on the weekend. Something like that. Something close to that. Don't take my word for it, but something like that. He can start off his championship with 40 points from round 1. And he's going to have a whole bunch of competitors that are not scoring points here in round 1. 3-second time penalty for your leader. One of the first penalties I've really taken note of. I haven't seen any on screen. Force 12 seconds adrift of Maverick. Maverick 14 seconds adrift of Vino, so no battle to speak of there at the top. Force being chased by RZDV. Wants that podium position. I just noticed that my teammate was on a set of hards when he retired, so get me started on a set of hards. I actually didn't see that, he didn't mention that. Let's have a look. RZDV just behind Foss. Stay as close as you possibly can. A lot of these corners not great for passing, but you want to, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it here. Nope. He's running a little bit wide there. He's going to lose a bit of time now. He wants to get back up to that car ahead of him, get on its gearbox, and when you hit that straight, DRS, ERS, rich mix, give it everything, and the car in front of you can't really do much about it at that stage. For still holding on to third. This charger is completely useful. I plugged my phone in about 20 minutes ago. It was on 10%. Now it's on 18. That's lovely. Let's just have a look here at your calendar. Round 2, we're heading to a circuit I'm a little bit more in favor of, in fact a lot more in favor of, so I'm looking forward to round 2. Gonna put some practice into that one. That's at the Red Bull Ring, Austria. We call it the Austrian Grand Prix or the Styrian Grand Prix, not really sure. Oh, that's great. Lando Norris is online. Matt, don't abandon me for Lando Norris. Top 3 remain the same. RZDV remains in 4th, not as close as he was a few laps ago. Looking to build up again. Ronald continuing on his recovery drive, 21 laps on those mediums. He was in 9th at a stage, so he has worked his way up the field. Obviously also on a strategy that is out of sync with everybody else. Seems like he also had some sort of incident very early on in the race, because if you look at the age of the tires, tells me he came in on lap 3 or 4. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Matt. You're not abandoning me for Lando Norris. Lando Norris gets enough coverage. Yes, and I'm wearing a Ferrari hat because someone has to. Jean coming into the pits. He's taking that wing off. He's got wing damage. He went out on a set of hards. Those hards were not old at all. I think they were about 4 or 5 laps. He's come and changed his wing. Gone onto a new set of mediums. Not ideal for him. But luckily just 9 runners in this race, and no matter where you finish, you're going to get good points. Okay, so you wouldn't abandon me for Lando Norris, but you'd abandon me for George Russell. Okay, so... oh wow. Love it. If George was the champion when they were doing those virtual GPs, and they actually did a little championship together. I think George won that out of all the drivers, and there were a few well-known names in that field. Arthur Leclerc also beating his brother to the line in the virtual world a few times there. Let's go back to the front. Obviously Vino coming up on a lapped car. As you can see, car is ghosting. Some leagues don't like that. Unfortunately, in the game you've got an option for ghosting on or off. That's it. But ghosting can apply to two very different things. So unfortunately you can't switch off the ghosting for just that or just that. You switch it off for both. So unfortunately the lapped cars get ghosted, but the reason we have the ghosting on is so that if somebody gets disconnected, their car doesn't drive slowly around the circuit and impede other drivers. We've actually had a championship that could have very well been decided because of a similar incident. We had a race where I believe it was Nismax who was leading the race, or really heading towards the championship, and we had ghosting off. Somebody disconnected. The car was driving awfully, or the AI was driving awfully slowly around the track, and when Nismax came up to lap it, gave him a really hard time, and he landed up losing a wheel in the process, and very possibly the championship. So that's why we switched it on. I know some of the guys don't like it, but it really is the best option in the long run. You don't want victories being decided by AI. But Kimmy getting back into the session. I see he must have left, having some sort of a problem. This is obviously the fantasy Yamaha team, led today by Not Maverick in second place. His two teammates doing a fantastic job. They're in fourth and fifth at the moment. Be great points. I'm just going to call them the Yamaha. Actually, Yamaha have been in Formula 1. Built one of the loudest V12s. My father, who's been to a few testing sessions in his day when F1 came here, he told me that the loudest F1 engine he ever heard was a Yamaha in the early 90s. So they used to build them, but a lot's changed in F1. Early 90s you had all sorts of engine manufacturers. Obviously Ferrari was there, they've always been. Renault was there as an engine manufacturer. Merc was entering the fray. I think they entered in 1993 with Sauber, of all teams. That's how they started their journey. Lamborghini was an engine manufacturer to LaRousse. See a whole smattering of Ford Cosworths. So there was a time in F1 where engine manufacturers, there was no shortage of them, but soon we could be left with just the three. No change in the top three. Oof. Force getting awfully close to the wall on the outside. Such a difficult track. Keep your concentration over a long period of time. 21 laps remaining in this race. They have passed half distance at least. See a lot of other F1 leagues on online run their races, run their leagues at 50%. If that were the case, this would be all over. We still have 21 laps to go, and a lot can happen in that time. Maverick 26 seconds adrift of your leader. Force 11 seconds adrift from Maverick. RZDV not able to make too much impact on a podium position right now, but that's all explained in his tires. He's obviously on a set of mediums, 17 laps old. The car in front of him, Force, also on a set of mediums, only 9 laps old. So obviously he is now starting to feel the effects of tire wear, not having that absolute grip in the corners, not having that absolute confidence that you should have. And he'll just drop back slightly, but obviously his strategy and the car in front of him. Those two strategies are out of sync. They are not on the same strategy. So RZDV maybe just keep that gap as close as he can. Could look different after the second round of pit stops. Obviously RZDV will pit before Foss. Keep an eye on that gap when he does dive into the pits so that we can see what has changed when Foss eventually makes his pit stop. I don't think anyone can get to the end on their tires. I don't know what's the tire life of the hards. Boucher and Wes both on hards, maybe looking to get to the end of the race. 20 laps to go. Foss doing all he can to shake off that car behind him. Third of those Yamaha drivers, that's Legend. He has dropped a position. He has gone down to 6th place. SAF1 Ronald, previously known as Boinkies, same guy. He's in 5th place. But RZDV does have a very comfortable cushion there. 46 seconds. Taking a lot of curb there on the inside. You got to be so careful. You don't want to get warnings. It is a street circuit. You look at it and sometimes think, where could I cut corners? But I've cut corners at Monaco, so it is possible. Don't want to get too much on the curbs. Cut corners, get penalties. Obviously, if you get 2 or 3 penalties, that 10-second gap could mean absolutely nothing. Nice helicopter shot of Foss driving through the streets of Baku. Up that back straight, and it really is, it looks like a freeway. Legend has not let go of that SAF1 car in front of him. Gap still 2 seconds. Ronald not able to shake him off after that pass. He is on a set of softs, where Legend is on a set of relatively aged mediums. Rob's medium's now 19 laps old. Wonder what his strategy is here. Does he take it? How much deeper can he take these tires? Is he going to try and do a final stint on softs, or is it going to be another stint on mediums? No change at the front. Vino, Maverick, Foss. Rob still 4th. Ronald 5th. Legend still 6th, starting to drop off now. 2.7 seconds is the gap. You got Wesley and Jean in 7th and 8th. And then the lone rider, E. Boucher, he's in 9th. Obviously worth it to stay in the race. Wherever you finish here, top 9, you're going to get good points. We'll see in the multiplayer season, as we did last season actually, with the F1 2020 cars. We're not using the standard F1 points system, so there are more points on offer. You get obviously you get points for pole position, you get points for fastest lap, and then the points for the race itself. I think for a win, instead of getting 25, I think you get 30. and the points, instead of going down to 10th, they go all the way down to 15th. So basically the whole field, if the whole field had finished the race, everyone would have picked up some sort of points. Sean has retired. We've got another retirement. We missed that, unfortunately. We're going to ride with Boucher. He was about 15 seconds adrift. Maybe we'll see the incident. It's just a Sector 2. There it is. It's a Sector 2 yellow flag. We're actually lucky that's not a safety car. The car's in a bit of a funny place. Sector 2 and 3 now yellow flags. So that means just 8 runners left in Baku. Not the ideal start to the season, but at a venue like this for round 1, I suppose I don't think the guys can be too hard on themselves. Ronald still in 5th, going strong, the only SAF1 car to be sporting his livery. Was it DV 4th? 4.8 seconds adrift from Foss. So an older mediums than Foss. I don't know if he's going to be able to catch him in this particular stint of the race. How many more drivers will fall? 8 remain. 6 retirements. Sean, Gavpig, not Kimmy, the judge, SAF1, Coonrod, and whoever not Fernando is. No change at the front for now. We wait patiently for that second round of pit stops to happen so that we can get some sort of action. See, we've had 6 retirements. I'm commentating on this race because I was the first of those retirements. Nicely done for round 1. Got a couple of viewers. Thanks for joining the stream. This isn't going to be one of my best commentary sessions. It's definitely not in the top 10, but I just feel really out of place. I'm doing a commentary with a wheel and I have to sit in my rig for this because the mic, Vino has come into the pits. It was a quick pit stop. He gets on his way. He's now on that pit exit. Where is Maverick? Not even close. He's going up the pit straight now. So that gap, we'll see as soon as the timing screen just flattens out a bit. Here we go, 12.9 seconds. That seems to be the gap between first and second. Vino on a fresh set of mediums, obviously looking to take it to the end. I believe Maverick's going to have to stop again. I believe Foss is going to have to stop again. Speaking of pitting, RZDV has popped into the pits. He was in 4th place, had a 46-second gap to Ronald, so I think he'll hold on to it for now. But he's coming in, throwing on a set of softs, and he's going to finish this race on those softs. Now 23 seconds adrift of Foss, who will now start to experience the aging mediums that RZDV was dealing with for the past couple of laps. 3-second penalty, just going over the curb there. It's the same curb I mentioned earlier on. Just feel like he's taking a little bit much, and I was surprised no penalty last time out, but this time maybe just pushing it a little bit beyond the line. I know he's done a lot of practice, so I'm pretty sure he knows where he can push it and where he can't, and maybe he just took it a bit too far. Getting a penalty, it's not going to help his cause if RZDV is going to be really close behind. Don't need a handful of penalties. And obviously if a safety car were to come out, then this race could change dramatically. Close that gap between Vino and Maverick. It would be perfect. If a pit stop were to happen now, Maverick could jump into the pits, get a free pit stop. Or ZDV on a brand new set of softs. Starting his first full lap after the pit stop. Sure, those tires will feel great on his car right now after doing so many laps on that set of mediums. Probably really enjoying the way this feels now. You only appreciate the car when you've driven it with a really bad setup or it's really bad tires. When you get that fresh set of softs, you can really appreciate the car. The additional grip, the additional traction, everything that those tires give you. Doesn't want to abuse them too much early on. Obviously he's going to have to go about 13-14 laps on those tires to take it to the end. Pushing it a little bit on the softs. Foss still on a set of mediums, 16 laps old. Not Maverick on a set of mediums, 22 laps old. He's currently in second place. We have a problem where, is it Jean? Jean has left the session, but he obviously DNF'd a few laps ago. Our most recent DNF. He obviously stayed around to watch a little bit. But now he's had enough. On his way, left the session. No gaps to speak of. Bit of a difficult commentary session. It's easier with a co-commentator to bounce off of, and when there are no gaps and you're doing it solo, really just got a whole lot of filler. Legend 4.8 seconds adrift from SAF1 Ronald. Do I call them SAF1 or do I call them SAF1? SAF1 or SAF1? I don't know. SAF1 Ronald. RZDV very quick castle section there. I most certainly don't have that sort of confidence coming through the castle section. He's now approaching my favorite corner on the track. Luckily there's no footage of Q1 because that was shocking. That was absolutely shocking. I don't need anyone to see that. And if you saw my retirement in the race, well, that's pretty much what Q1 looked like. Same corner, same mistake. Maverick. Foss has been promoted to second. Maverick down to third. That's a result of his pit stop. Here's a good example of why the cars are ghosted. Maverick in third place would have, on the pit exit, joined a lapped car. And if that car was controlled by AI, it could have caused all sorts of problems. So we have the ghosting. Still third. For second. Half a minute adrift of your leader. Dominating the race so far. Oof. That was a very nervous pit entry. Almost making a mistake. Could have lost. Doesn't matter if he lost the wing. He's having a wing replacement. Changing his tires. It's going to be a longer pit stop than he would have wanted with that wing replacement. Surely RZDV up into third, and it looks quite comfortable. That wing change won't help. He's going to have slightly fresher tires at the end. That episode only 3 laps though, so I don't know if he's going to be able to close 10.7 seconds and fight for this podium. At the moment, that Yamaha team is doing fantastic, second and third, picking up 2 steps of that podium, but not the top step. Top step belonged to one man so far. 11 laps to go. Started on pole. It's on a set of mediums. The only driver currently on a set of mediums is your leader. Then second down to sixth, all on softs. 7th and 8th running around on hard tires. 10 laps to go. Now not Maverick with the fastest lap of the race. So those extra points, if you finish second and you get fastest lap, can really make up for finishing second by getting fastest lap. Get a whole handful of points. Oh wow, look at that, my screen's glitching. Or Vino is stuck in 6th and 7th gear. Absolutely love it. Let's go to Maverick. His car sounds a little bit more healthy. Not as disturbed. His teammates behind him. Obviously identical cars. Their teammates still in it. 5th place. Now coming under renewed pressure from Ronald. Just 3 seconds down the road. They obviously switched under pit stop. It's currently 5th. They'd love this result if they could bring this home in the next 9 laps. 9 laps to go. Baku, the second longest track on the F1 calendar. Does take a while to get around here. So 9 laps, still a long time. Longest track obviously being Spa-Francorchamps 7.1, and I believe this one is 6.8 or something like that. Really long circuit here in Baku, especially for a street circuit. When you compare it to Monaco, one of the shortest circuits on the track. Still don't think you can compare it to Monaco though. The width of the circuit is far superior to what we've seen in Monaco. Monaco's crazy. Nelson PK once described Monaco as riding around your living room on your bicycle. It's just not where you're supposed to be doing that. No gaps to speak of. No battles to speak of. And unless Vino were to make a horrifying mistake, really think he's got this in the bag. Another 3 seconds for force. If you're watching, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna have a look here at the race director. Vino, your leader, he has a penalty, so that's 3 seconds. Maverick, none at all. RZDV, none at all. Force. I'm not sure that's right. It's only showing me 1 penalty. I'm sure I've seen 2. Legend also. Seems like everyone's got penalties, but nothing too heavy. Nothing for Ronald. Nothing new there. It's actually surprising when he does get penalties. Actually not that many penalties out there in the field, but we'll wait and see when the final classified results pop up on your screen. Then we'll have the official results. Don't want to put too much faith in this timing screen. It's made me look very foolish in the past.
I didn't understand that.
Well, you didn't understand that because I wasn't talking to you. That's fantastic. My phone just starts talking to me at random times. Lap 44.51, we're entering the closing stages of this race. Like I said earlier, such a long lap. 6 laps are gonna feel like forever. Tonight I'm impersonating Le Mans commentators. They just disappear every now and then. Sorry, I have to sit in my rig to commentate. I'm used to walking around with my headphones and commentating, so I feel very constricted. I don't feel constricted by the rig when you're driving, but when you're just sitting here, feels pretty weird. obviously the real reason the reigning champion is not with us is we told him if he wanted to be part of season 2, he needed to change his name to not Boris, and he was having nothing of it. So he chooses rather to sit in the comment section and to be named after the great Boris. If you don't know which Boris I'm referring to, I'm not gonna say it. Internet's not too fond of that name. Force still fourth. Ooh, just getting out of shape there on the back end, really loose. Lucky doesn't collect a barrier. Really using all of the racetrack at the moment. Ride with RZDV. He got those softs fitted on his car. They're 8 laps old now. They've probably passed their prime. I wouldn't say they're falling off just yet, but they're probably not at their best anymore. He's currently third. He's got Force just behind him, 6.5 seconds, but Force has got all sorts of penalties to juggle as well. Too much he can do about his teammate up the road, 16.5 seconds, but I think they'll be happy with this performance if they can bring home second and third. So don't forget their other teammate down in 7th. He's in a much better position. Seems like he did not come out of that those second round of pit stops very well. RZDV, not Maverick, still holding on, 2nd place, great performance. This is a guy that can leave the game for months at a time, return on the odd night and win races. Seen him do it many times. What will he do in a season that he is fully committed to? This is definitely one of the contenders for the, what is this, the 16th edition of the TnB Championship in total. I think this is the 16th edition of the F1 Championship, dating back to F1 2017. Not Maverick, one of the original founders of TnB. Looked very different when it started. See the two founders. One is in 2nd, the other has already retired. That's my teammate, not Kimmy. This all started with them playing Formula 1, but unfortunately they could not race against each other because they had 2 different consoles, I believe. So they would constantly compare time trial times and compete against each other that way, and that evolved into all of this. Matt, that reminds me. Speaking of Boris, I have a YouTube video I want to send you, because Boris Johnson swore in that video, but he swore to a level that I don't swear in the stream. But if you've ever heard me in a party chat, oh trust me, I can swear. But Boris Johnson swore on a level that I have never heard before. He said a combination of 4 or 5 words that I don't even know the meaning of. So it was pretty impressive, swearing to the next level. Vino has come into the pits and put on a fresh set of softs. So he's obviously going to have a go at fastest lap. Doesn't want to give that fastest lap to second place. Obviously that could equal out the points a little bit. He wants to take all the points for himself. He's already got pole position. If he can win the race and take fastest lap, it'll be a perfect Friday night. Perfect round 1 for Safwan Vino. His teammate down in 5th. His other teammate retiring early on. Lap 1 retirements for Gavin, not Kimmy, the judge, Safwan Kunrad, and whoever not Fernando is. There was some interesting stuff coming out of Boris. He called someone a... Oh, I don't want to say this wrong. But maybe I do want to say... No, well, this is my Twitch account. I don't care. What does it mean if you call someone an invertebrate... What? An invertebrate Jenny? What? You... I can't even remember what he said. What? You potoplasmic vertebrate Jenny? I have no idea. I have to go look for the video. It was insane. Vino now picking up a 3-second penalty. Obviously giving it everything in the final moments of the race, looking for that fastest lap. Maybe just going over the curb a little bit too much. Pushing it a little bit too much. That gap is 20 seconds, so I don't think he needs to worry about penalties. He's all good. He's done the work. But if he wants to get a fastest lap, he's going to have to get a straightforward lap, no invalidated laps. He's going to have another go at it now. Fortunately, he's used a lot of his ERS on this lap. Doesn't get fastest lap. I think the last time I saw purple was not Maverick. I haven't seen it since then. So I think he still holds on to that fastest lap. Vino now starting his penultimate lap. 2 laps to go. Force is making serious ground on 3rd place. That gap now 2 seconds. 1.9. Going to be enough in the closing stages of the race? Is he going to be able to get up on that gearbox? All comes down to what you've got at the end. How much fuel do you have? How much ERS do you have? Really don't want that car getting within a second on the last lap and grabbing that incredibly long DRS zone, chasing you down the straight. You don't want that. Now, Rob was close to a DRS zone. He could use this to his advantage. Obviously, when you have a ghost car in front of you, that registers as just one normal car. So if you're driving behind that car within a second, you will get DRS. But Force now within DRS of RZDV. So we do have a little bit of a battle on track for the first time in a long time, and it's for third place. So we'll try and stick with this till the end of the race. Let's just keep our eyes on Vino. Where is he? He's in sector 1 of his final lap. Matt, it's the first time I'm commentating on the Twitch stream, so if you could just help me out, if you could just tell me how does my voice sound? Can you hear the cars? Are the cars too quiet? Is my voice too loud? Or does it sound fine? Now Force coming up the inside. He's got up the inside. Nicely done. We saw that from RZDV's perspective, unfortunately, and not Force's perspective. So we just saw him sneak up the inside. RZDV would have known he was coming, but now he's going to get DRS. Chooses not to use it. He actually had DRS there, didn't use it, didn't activate it. Maybe just wants to now stay on that gearbox, use that final DRS zone, and it'll be a race to the end. Let's go back to your leader. Where is your leader? Your leader is entering sector 3 of his final lap. Not Maverick in sector 2. RZDV just dropping back a little bit. Doesn't want that car to get too far away. Needs to stay within a second if he's going to be able to use DRS. Both cars pretty flat DRS. Vino's gone over the line and won the race. That's classified. That's a victory. Not Maverick over the line in second. Now we wait for Force. This will be your third place man. He was in fourth not so long ago. Was able to steal that podium on the final lap, sneaking up the inside. He comes over the line now. And there we go, third place. RZDV classified fourth. SAF1 Ronald in fifth. Legend in sixth. Then we've got Wes in 7th, and just waiting for that final car to classify. That would be Boucher. Obviously your lone runner in that team. Seats still available in TnB. Hint hint, Matt. Hint hint. Boucher all alone in that team, so if Matt you wanna join a championship late, change your mind, let us know. Driver of the day according to the game, that's not Maverick. Nicely done. Victory for Vino. Second Maverick, and Force has already left the session. He finished third, but he's on his way. Not too interested in sticking around. Let's get the phone ready so I can take a screenshot of the results for Johan. So just to read through your results really quickly, obviously Vino winning that race. Then, ooh, look at with that. Maverick and RZDV. RZDV did finish in third. Those penalties came into play, and great finish for that team, second and third. Then Force is going to have to settle for fourth. Saffron Ronald fifth. Legend sixth. Wes seventh. Boucher eighth. That's all your finishes. Then DNFs for, well, there we go, there's my screen, it's gone, and unfortunately YouTube's like usually 20 seconds behind, so I can just read it off the YouTube screen, but Twitch is a little bit quicker, so it's disappeared off both my screens. Nothing I can do about that. But yeah, I did my best. I'm sorry, not my usual, not the usual way I like to do commentary. I can't invite anyone for a podium interview because I'm on Twitch, so and I'm not using the PlayStation. So hopefully for round 2, we'll have your normal commentators back. We'll have Johan and Devon back. Hopefully both of them with sorted out PlayStations. It was an interesting race. We lost 5 runners in lap 1, and great start to the season for Vino. We'll see you next week in round 2 for Austria. A much more forgiving circuit, especially for someone like me. If you're gonna go off track every now and then, you don't need barriers to be right there. So no points for my team, not Aston Martin Racing. Obviously retirements for myself and Kimi, and Sebastian not able to make it. He's 1,500 k's away from where he'd like to be. So we'll be back for round 2 in Austria, hopefully fuller grid and less retirements on lap 1. Thanks for joining, thanks for watching. Give the channel a follow if something like this happens again. We'll be using this. Thanks guys, see you next time.